Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? Back once more with another daily Kaspa and crypto live stream, and we have a question and almost a statement for today's stream. Ultimately, got a lot of very bullish catalysts covered in today's video, in today's stream, but the question is, or the statement is, Kaspa to kill 99.9% of cryptos. There's a video and interview I'll be playing a little bit later on, which comes from the CEO, founder, and CIO of 10T Holdings, who speaks about, the fact that 99% of speculative cryptos are going to zero. It's not something new we've heard, but I do agree with this fact. I believe strongly that a lot of crypto projects in this space, a lot of these ones that are currently, on CoinMarketCap here, many of them are going to zero because they don't offer any real benefit. They are lacking use case. That's what he says in the video. Against that in a moment. And in that regard, I believe that Kaspa is going to be one of these such cryptos that will be the ones to kill the other projects because they're making them redundant because of what they are building. I would personally believe that a lot of these other projects are starting to feel a little bit pressured by this. All of that we'll get into this video in the stream as always. If you enjoy though, leave a like, share your friends, subscribe for more, and welcome everyone to the Quick Crypto channel and CF community. Greg, my man, again, may the pump be around the corner. I pray it is as well. I don't think we're that far off now. I'm hoping that going into April, start looking some upside. There does seem to be some form of catalyst that suggests it might start seeing some potential relief going into Q2. We'll have to wait and see. What's up, Crypto, my man? Welcome back, my man. I am great to see you. I did start watching Plan K's series on, what you sent through the community. I only had the time to watch the first one because I didn't realise they were all like an hour long each, or 40 minutes long each. Watch through the first one. It is very interesting. I'm very, very interested. I mean, most of that I was kind of like, whether I was worth it or not, seeing it in a structured format like that was very interesting right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing the conclusion of the series. But yeah, thank you very much. I'm going to try and get through the rest of tomorrow as well. I've been very busy with work today. I only had the time to watch one of them today. What's up, Buffalo, my man? Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're doing very, very well as well. Welcome back everyone to the stream. Hope you're having a very, very good day today. So that being said, we're going to get into the start of the stream. First, going to be covering a little bit of the kind of macro, somewhat negative news, but then transitioning into the bullish news for updates for Kaspa, and of course the bullish macro news as well. So firstly, here we can see cryptocurrencies have now seen outflow for 17 consecutive days, the longest streak in history. This is absolutely nuts, but also a reason why the markets are stagnating and not really moving. If anything, they're kind of going down right now because there's no new liquidity. Right now, we're waiting for new liquidity to get into the market before we start seeing the rally of crypto. That being said as well, we've got another update here, which is very, very bearish in my belief. Crypto.com, now it's a shame because I actually do like crypto. I do use Crypto.com. I do like them, but a controversial vote happened where, according to Unchained, Kronos, I use Crypto.com, I don't use Kronos, but Kronos' proposal to recover the 70 billion Crow burn was approved. The reversal occurred before the vote closed, so 3.35 billion Crow was added by a major validator operated by Crypto.com, which controls 70 to 80% of the voting rights. This reinforcement tipped the balance in favour of the proposal. Even on Sunday, the proposal seemed doomed to failure, failing to reach the 33.4% quorum required for validation, but with the additional 3.35 billion Crow, the quorum was exceeded, propelling the vote to 70.18% in favour of the project. So ultimately, the whole premise of token burns is to burn away from supply indefinitely. You put them into a wallet and let the wallet just die, leave it alone. But instead, I think Crypto.com and their validators have now made a proposal to recover the 70 billion burnt Crow, which is not a good thing at all. I don't exactly know what they're planning. I don't know the reasons for this, but this is precisely the problem and the issue with proof of stakes. It's a problem with these sort of projects, these centralized authorities, where that can be done. If you want to do that with Kaspa, if you had a burn wallet for Kaspa and you want to do it with Kaspa, you'd have to get all of the miners and effectively have to have over 51% agree to that. And that's not going to be very, very easy because that's going to also inherently ruin the fundamental part of Kaspa being, the centralization and whatnot. Again, I'm not going to get into much into the nitty-gritty of this. Ultimately, I think this is not a very good thing. It's very controversial, to say the least, and I don't know why they did this, but I don't think it's going to bring a lot of, a lot of reassurance to Kronos, and equally for Crypto.com as well. People deem token burning as a bullish thing. Token, recovering? No, not necessarily. And this could very well mean that Crow could be one such of the numerous assets that will eventually go to zero. Because as highlighted in this video, I'm going to play in just a moment, Dan Tapiero, founder, CEO and CIO of 10T Holdings, mentions obviously Ripple and XRP here, which whether you like XRP or not, I do believe XRP, at least for the time being, will be one of those that does survive because they've got the partnerships and connections to stay alive. Love or hate the project and what it does, it's got the partnership that will keep them alive, but there'll be many that are sort of knockoffs of the XRPs, knockoffs of Kaspas, knockoff of just, they aren't great, they haven't got enough use case, and therefore they will perish. So listen very closely to this interview here as well.
But altcoins have continued to bleed. There really hasn't been much performance of significance in the rest of the crypto market, which those who look at the cycles would have anticipated happening by now. What do you make of that?
Well, I think a lot of those things deserve to go to zero. And I think their venture investments, I think that, they're still searching for their, use case, some of them. I mean, look, I also think it's a problem that there seems to be an infinite amount of, let's say, meme coins on Solana. Even the Trump coin and other coins, they sapped a lot of liquidity from the market. But look, the altcoins, there's infinite supply. So, if you've developed a use case and there's network effect, I mean, if you take a look at some of the larger ones, Ripple, for instance, and other ones that have been around for a long time that have very high market values, they've sort of held in okay. I think just the most speculative end of the market is speculative, and 99% or 99.9% of those speculative tokens will end up going to zero. So
yeah, as Dan highlights here, ultimately there are almost an infinite amount of cryptos out there. There's so many in regards to especially meme tokens, but equally there are other projects in this space that have an infinite supply. This is no different than the current fiat system we have right now, which is collapsing, which Plan K's video talks about a lot more, his series. The fiat system is collapsing due to the whole inflation and just endless amount of money printing. There's no restraints on them. When it was gold backed, fine. Now it's not gold back anymore. Now it's a petrodollar. There are no restraints anymore, and as a result, therefore, it's collapsing. The dollar's collapsing, and we are on the cusp of a crisis. Thankfully, I think it's been navigated just enough to avoid it. But that's the whole premise of what's happening right now. Those assets in this space that are deemed as proof of stakes, which is 99.9% of all of them, the ones that are specifically, they're also got infinite supply, and equally the infinite amount of tokens that haven't got a use case. Those are the three categories that I deem. Proof of stakes that I don't think are very good in general. I do hold proof of stakes, of course. I do hold other assets to hedge my bets and make a little bit extra, capital and money. But I don't have long-term belief in them necessarily. XRP is the only one that I could argue, and that's purely due to their partnerships. I don't actually believe XRP is going to be the next major thing right now, because I think Kaspa could do that much better. But I see XRP's got the partnership to keep them ahead. But all the other projects in this space, they're proof of stakes. All the other projects in this space, they either have an infinite supply, which is no better than the currency, the current fiat system we have right now, which is a problem, or there's just an infinite amount of tokens right now that have no real use case. They're pretty much the exact same with a different logo and name applied to it. So as Dan highlights here, and I do agree, 99.9% of cryptos are going to go to zero. It's going to be a massive collapse of them. And for me, Kaspa will be the one to take its rightful place as ones that survive. And why I'm saying that is nothing against, I'm not particularly scrutinizing any project in particular, but it's obviously going to sound that way when I'm comparing it to Kaspa. For example here, Litecoin, I know people in the community do hold Litecoin, so I'm not trying to slander it per se, but this post here from Litecoin highlights that, the Litecoin network just processed a whopping 14 million transactions in 2025 in just 10 weeks, which is impressive. But look at what Kaspa's done already. Processing in the last 24 hours, 17 million transactions. So Kaspa, while being a smaller project than Litecoin, you know, it is on coin market cap wise, it's already processing more transactions than Litecoin is. And people still deem Kaspa as a ghost chain. And Kaspa's not got 10 BPS just out yet, no smart contracts out just yet, no stable coins out just yet. So the volume we're going to see with Kaspa is likely going to explode a hell of a lot higher following these infrastructure developments. So once more, in due time, what I do believe, it won't necessarily happen this cycle. You'll probably see a lot of them collapse following. But that's the benefit and downside of regulations coming through. The benefit is, you know, you'll see institutions getting more involved, which will be great. Although it'll definitely, you know, institutional money get involved will be good for, you know, bringing more capital in, not necessarily for the whole centralized element of it, but bringing more money into the space. And it'll also cause all the, you know, assets that have lack of use case, assets that's, you know, have infinite supply that are no better than just a regular fiat currency that basically just could just be a stable coin, if you will. They'll be, you know, cold. They'll be cannibalized. The downside, of course, there are a lot, because the whole regulatory scrutiny will mean that, again, this space will become less and less decentralized, which is already happening. This whole space will become centralized, and Kaspa is trying to fight a good fight in retaining centralization and prove itself to be innovative in the space, which I actually have a video I'm creating right now, which is going to be talking about the smart contracts coming out for Kaspa, a bit of a deep dive into them, what's coming out, the projects around them, where we can expect the release of smart contracts and whatnot. And this, for me, is going to be an absolute game changer. Kaspa will be able to generate millions of dollars a month in due time following the implementation of smart contracts, which of course I explained in that video, so tune in for that later on today. Now I've got to Kaspa updates right now. Kaspa, I think, is definitely one of those that survive. 99% of the crypto culling, I think Kaspa's going to be one that survives, which is a top 5, top 3 in the future to be. I've got a lot of very big things coming through right now. We can see here from Pavel, it took him exactly 5 minutes to run Kaspa testnet 10. Really smooth experience, no glitches so far, and you know, this is the leading up towards 10 BPS onto the mainnet, which is coming up very, very soon. So yeah, happening testing right now, which is good to hear. The longer it stays up, the better it will be as well. And this is also going to make these smart contracts that much better as well. We got an update here from Chris Kang, the Kasplex co-founder, who said that he just sent a transaction to Kaspa's layer 1 and a smart contract was automatically deployed on Kasplex's layer 2, which is huge and proof that the foundations are being set in stone right before our eyes, that Kaspa is going to become a playground for innovation to thrive and make proof of work great again. Right now, all projects in this space migrated away from proof of work from the Bitcoin consensus because they deemed it was not scalable enough. It couldn't work because Bitcoin didn't evolve. But Kaspa learned how to actually evolve a proof of work, and it's going to prove that proof of work is the superior method of, you know, infrastructure, of protocol, if you will. Also, Lee highlights here as well, Kaspa plus Kasplex ZK EVM plus smart contracts will be insane. So now is the time to start telling developers of other chains to come over to Kaspa to prepare/build. Smart contracts are on the way through Kasplex, then Igra, then Sparkle. Unfortunately, not Kaspa EVM anymore. We'll get into that post again in a moment. We have some updates about that. But all these projects right now are building smart contracts, and it would be ideal now for developers from other chains and them lot to start looking at Kaspa because of what Kaspa's building. 10 BPS hard fork coming out very, very soon as well. Christian Lovell highlights here though, curious to hear your thoughts on interoperability, or if layer 2s will be more competitive markets like Ethereum, even if fees are paid in Kaspa, unlike Ethereum's layer 2s. And Michael Sutton highlights here that it's heavy duty work in process. The commitment described in the post by hashtag is taking concrete form. It's taking concrete form in these days. We're aware that developments are happening fast in parallel and doing our best to publish the interoperability outline ASAP. So I'll always be talking about how this is a post I've talked about in the past. Atomic possibility and other considerations for layer 2 support, which it goes into detail to basically how, you know, the other systems have their shortcomings, and with Kaspa's block DAG architecture, it allows it to overcome the shortcomings, have method resistance and whatnot as well. So we're going to see a lot more coming through in due time. I'll probably circle back to this later on, but just know right now that we're starting to see early signs right now of smart contracts being automatically deployed with Kaspa. So that's the layer 1.5 coming to fruition right now, which is huge news. What's up, Clayton Greenman man? Welcome back to the stream. You're doing very, very well. Adam Bates, this is crazy. How do you unburn? Yeah, it's crazy. So basically, to my knowledge, when you burn a token, it's not necessarily you actually burn the token or the asset. You put it into a wallet that's a burn wallet that you just don't touch. The whole premise of it, at least unless I'm mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the premise of burning an asset is just you put it into a wallet that you just don't touch. So therefore, it's quote unquote burnt. So all they did was just unlock that wallet, I guess. Whether they should do or not is ridiculous. Wait, what series I missed that? Yeah, it's in the community, my free Discord community here, which Cryptony posted it in there in the Kaspa channel. Just a load of posts from Plan K's series on the kind of history of money in the system and whatnot, and how Kaspa's going to take its rightful place. Only Kaspa will survive. I do believe that there won't be just one survivor. That's my understanding of this whole predicament. There's going to be a very finite amount, but most will die. Definitely, most will be cannibalized. Most will be cold. There won't be many to survive, but there won't be just one. Bitcoin will survive as a proof of value. Kaspa will survive as a medium of exchange. XRP could very well survive with his partnership with institutions and whatnot. Although again, if Kaspa can make such a significant dent, then maybe not. But the benefit as well, the thing is, what you're seeing all around the place as well is the interoperability, right? Kaspa, what they're building right now are smart contracts, which Igor spoke about already in the past as well. They're going to make sure that they are compatible with all virtual machines, Solana's, Wasm, Ethereum's, you name it. Point being is other chains, while adoption on those chains particularly may fall off, they could still survive because they have such a large early adopted infrastructure that, they already got a lot of adoption right now. Ethereum right now is number 2. It's got a hell of a lot of adoption. Now, I think Ethereum's going to fall off, personally. But it's got so much adoption right now that majority of the other projects in the space, from XRP to even Kaspa's doing it right now, to Solana, many, many more, they've got an Ethereum, roll-up Ethereum sidechain they can connect to Ethereum. So this could help Ethereum stay alive a little bit longer, or at least help these other developers transition onto the other chains. So it won't be only Kaspa that survives in my belief, but it will definitely be the front runner for me that will survive and do the best in due time. Crow is about to die now for sure. I mean, I would care to agree. We'll have to wait and see, of course, it's still early days, but I just don't see the reason for this. The fact of the matter being is what this proposal was doomed to fail apparently. But then, out of nowhere, 3.35 billion crores added by a major validated operator. So Crypto.com basically just said, oh, here's 3.35 billion kronos, and therefore tips the voting all the way in favor of, the proposal here. So evidently Crypto.com wanted this. I don't exactly know why. It doesn't sound very legit. It sounds a bit, bit off if you ask me. And this again is the problem of these centralized entities. I can't see what reason you do to apart from it just being some form of selfish way to try and make more money from them. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't see how this benefits the project at all. And that's again the benefit of it being proof of work. Proof of work, once it's all been mined out, there's nothing more. You can't just bring it back. It's gone forever. I still feel it would be cool for Kraken to make a coin, but they will confirm nor deny if they ever implemented them. I mean, yes and no. I mean, I understand the element of implementing your own coin as a sort of gas token, but that's also the benefit of Kaspa's infrastructure, is smart contract stuff. Effectively, which again I cover this a lot more in the video I'm about to release later today. Effectively, Kaspa's layer 1.5 basically means that all the transactions and all the transactions are conducted with with Kaspa as a gas fee. So you won't have the likes of Igra Labs or Casplex, whatever. They won't issue their own tokens. They might issue a wrapped Kaspa, but they won't issue their own token. It will just be Kaspa used as a gas fee for transactions that are going through Ethereum. And most other projects in the space don't have that. They have some other fee goes underneath it. What's up, DD, my man? Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're doing very, very well. Plan K is a good watch, but the main plan is to fill your bag. You know it, 100%. Plan K is a very good watch, but the plan definitely is to keep DCA and keep filling that portfolio, What's up, John Doe, my man? I'm doing very well. Hope you had a very good day as well, my man. I've watched through it like 5 times and absorbed new information every time. Yeah, that's the thing. I was watching it, the first one, 14 minutes long. It's so much to digest. A lot of it was like, some of it I didn't know, some of it I kind of assumed, You know, some of it I didn't deem was like necessarily that relevant, but either way, the first of 4 to 5 of the series was very informative, and I do feel like I learned quite a bit from it. But it's like, yeah, so much to digest in that. What's up, good to go, my man? Hope you're doing very, very well. Great to have you back again. I'm practically collapsing from excitement. Hey, I don't blame you right now. There's so much close to be coming for Kaspa right now, and again, the title is as it states. I do think Kaspa will be killing majority. I mean, I think cryptos in general will be just falling off with regulatory frameworks coming through and whatnot. A lot of these projects just kind of being a carbon copy of other ones as well and fall off. I mean, you've seen Kaspa already kill multiple so-called Kaspa 2.0s. Pyron fell off. You know, you've seen many other, you know, derivatives, if you will, of Kaspa who try to come out saying the next big thing, and they've all fallen off. They've all collapsed. So I think Kaspa, when it reaches the scalability level of these other platforms, these other infrastructure layers, layer ones, Kaspa will take its place because it's going to be truthful to being a layer one as well. In continuation, we've still got some more updates to cover in this stream. So I've already covered, you know, the fact that we're seeing a lot of alphas right now. The markets in the current immediate short term aren't looking the best, but I'm hoping for some reversal very, very soon. Crypto.com doing their sus thing right now. 99% of crypto is going to be collapsing, but Kaspa I think will do very, very well because it's already proving itself to be one of the best proof of works in this space, and equally will prove itself to be the best project in this space, I'm sure, in due time. The smart contracts coming out very soon. TPS not far off either now. We're seeing early signs of smart contracts right now, which is good to see. And we do have some somewhat negative news, but it's a bit more understanding as well here. From Kaspa EVM, we heard yesterday night that Kaspa EVM have decided to cancel their project. So right now, we used to have IGRA, Casplex, Sparkle, and Kaspa EVM. Now it's just IGRA Labs, Casplex, and Project Sparkle. Kaspa EVM, they are no longer working on it due to a lack of funding. Now, it was from when I looked through their white paper, their roadmap, to understanding they wanted to have KEF fund their project, but unfortunately they did not do so. To which Johnny did reply here, quite an extensive reply here, talking about, you know, why he couldn't fund the project. Ultimately, the proposal they received, unlike what's released publicly, said that the project would be a fork of Taxara's project. Again, it's a project I have known since 2020, the previous cycle. The last time I wrote about ICPHUBS, which ICP, I didn't even know that the project was still alive, as I remember it was doing a lot of Internet of Things stuff. You know, so ultimately, according to Johnny here, what was not publicised is that apparently Kaspa EVM would be a fork of a Taxara, which seems to be something regarding ICP. There's no explanation of why Taxara was chosen. I suspect it was because Taxara now also employs a DAG as a visualizer. It's how similar to Kaspa in many ways. The biggest reason for me that I can understand probably is the fact that it was time by February 2025 when we were approached. It had already been 3 months since we had met with IGRA Labs at the Ethereum DevCon and Project Sparkle at the Hard Fork Kaspa Summit, and another team we spoke to at a similar time at the point who made the XRP ledger, the EVM layer 2 on XRP. So another reason why Kaspa EVM was also turned away was because they also approached KF in February, whereas, you know, the other projects that have already been around for longer, and that's part of that's part of the dog eat dog world of, you know, IGRA Labs and Project Sparkle and them lot. Kind of, they've been around for longer, and they also therefore they could form the connections earlier as well with Kaspa EVM. While what it sounded on the server sound quite good, again they just a bit late, couldn't receive the funding and whatnot. They also checked the team's information because we read lines like examine Taxara's proof of stake logic, bridging requirements, and any previous known issues in the proposal. I originally thought they are already familiar with Taxara at least. We checked the LinkedIn pages provided on their website. There are 5 employees listed. One is unfound, one whose name is also italic, seem to have multiple jobs. One is the PhD candidate who still needs to spend time on schoolwork, excellent academic record, but a mathematician, not a developer. Last but not least, the founder CEO served in the US Army 15 years. So, and then also it's basically brought up that, you know, for me, from what I've read through from this, these I could argue be two in the same thing. It seems to be that the proposal was rejected for that fact that they seemed to be a fork of Taxara, Taraxa, a fork of Taraxa. That's my dyslexia going there. Also because they were a bit late to approaching the KEF. Also because their employees, while, you know, they're all seemingly quite, professional in their own respective fields and whatnot, they seem to have, from the KF perspective, quite little experience in crypto development, and also seem to be also very busy. One being a PhD candidate, one, not even being found, one having multiple jobs, so they wouldn't have a lot of time to dedicate towards building smart contracts necessarily. And then one that I think also was quite weird, which is part of the reason also why I think it was cancelled, probably the biggest one actually, is it was explicitly brought up that a secondary incentive token will be launched. The only layer 2 token we support is one of Kaspa or wrapped Kaspa, some token exclusively used as a reward for ZK generation and ZK verification. So yeah, effectively, it's a shame to see. It is a shame to see. I did think they looked quite promising, but at the same time, maybe there's stuff we didn't know about Kaspa EVM that could be deemed as maybe they weren't being completely truthful. I don't exactly know. They did reply to the post, although I can't say, but yeah, we could respond lengthily to this with a ton of material, but since there's already been a rejection, my response will be brief. The real goal is to create an alternative environment where EVM compatible smart contracts can exist and where Kaspa can be utilized. The time factor makes it, they're kind of like, we don't really get one or two because we're just trying to make smart contracts in general. The time factor makes sense. I respect those who serve my country not so much. So yeah, you're kind of saying like, it doesn't matter what we served, we still have, we've been developing crypto projects for years now, so it's like we should have checked that a bit more so there, and etc. I mean, again, I'm not going to get into too much more detail. I've already gone into quite a lot here about the kind of rejection of Kaspa EVM. It's sad to see. The long and short of it is they did announce that they do potentially plan to, create a decentralized application on the other layer 2s, being Sparkle or Igra or Casplex in the future. So they're not gone. They're not working anymore on this smart contract project, but they're not necessarily gone. They might come back. But yeah, I mean, having 4 different, because all of these projects right now, all the other Casplex, they're all to an extent, they're all competing for the same thing, to release smart contracts on Kaspa. And of course, it's very innovative, very good to see. But ultimately, it's going to be the survival of the fittest. So that's the other reply here from Johnny, the executive vice president of the KEF, as to why Kaspa EVM was not funded. I think I get the reasons why. Maybe there could be some more due diligence done, but at the same time, for me, which is again was what Kaspa EVM responded to, saying the time one probably the biggest one. That's the reason why they didn't go through it, because that makes sense because they were a bit late. But yeah, I mean, again, smart contract for Kaspa, that is, for me, a small drop of water into a massive, lake of what's coming out. Not to, stay on the negative news for too long, but there's still a hell of a lot of things coming out for Kaspa. They just, again, this is the fact that we're already seeing Kaspa get to the next stage. They've got a DevNet out right now with the testnet scheduled to come out, I think, by the end of March, similar to Igra Labs as well. Again, I cover this a lot more detail in the video I'm making later on as well. And yeah, things are still looking up for Kaspa, I'd say. It's doing very well, and that's again why I believe Kaspa will be one of those that do survive the crypto economy when it comes through. Especially thanks to people like Shy. Love or hate Shy, people's opinions of him are very skewed, although I don't have a problem with him, I actually like him. And he's a very knowledgeable individual. And I've made a post here just saying how Shy has helped so many people understand Kaspa in true sense. He might be a bit sharp with his words, but for the most part, I find him quite entertaining as well, and he is very, very knowledgeable. And he's putting even more time into education with Wyborski. Definitely butchered that, I apologise. But he's basically just trying to bring more. Obviously, he's had to switch his narrative after the funding from the Kaspa Media team and also from the KEF stopped. But he's still continuing on other things, trying to educate the community right now, which is good to hear, because it's ultimately what's going to be very big. When Kaspa does start to rise through the ranks, people are going to start wondering what is Kaspa, and they'll come to find Shy, because he's the one who's been the front runner of educating people in the community right now. And that's also going to help in Kaspa killing other projects in this space when they realise that what Kaspa's building is proof of work, but actually able to compete and surpass proof of stakes while still staying true to what crypto's meant to be, which is a protection from government overreach and bad actors. That's why the KRI is involved as well. KRI wants Kaspa because it protects them from government overreach and bad actors. Decentralization is a key thing that's been very sorely lost in general in our economy, and especially with crypto now, Bitcoin in itself is already somewhat losing that because of all the ETFs and stuff. And again, there's a truth of the matter where you say that, you know, projects are going to go like Kaspa even then could gradually become more centralized because you have more whales buying up the supply and whatnot. And that, to an extent, that is true. But the Kaspa's made up by the miners at the same time. Unless you've got one miner that makes up the majority of the supply, one person owning the most of the supply is one thing. The miners who are actually part of the project, if there's one particular miner that's mining the majority of the, you know, capital transaction and whatnot, then that could cause a problem. But otherwise, then in the true sense, Kaspa is going to be decentralized. And again, the benefits still coming through thick and fast here. As opposed here, we got it that KEF, Kaspa entered the fight here. You know, sponsoring and I go here, who seems to be a UFC fighter. So I mean, we're getting these sort of sponsors right now, which means they're going to be repping Kaspa, KEF, which is ultimately another way to bring, you know, to bring adoption. Yeah, it's a 2023 French pro Muay Thai champion, elite fighter, gym owner, and coach of, not going to pronounce that because I'm definitely going to butcher that, Bordeaux, I think it is. But yeah, he's now going to be representing Kaspa, KF, which is good to see as well. This whole thing right now, they seem small and insignificant, but these small insignificant things, think about as you're watching, like, I've been watching, you know, when you watch YouTube videos, or when I was watching the Plan K videos earlier, I kept getting ads about, you know, Kraken Exchange. Of course, I skipped the ads, because I don't want to watch the Kraken ad, but it's that subconscious thing. Like, I've remembered that because I keep seeing it subconsciously when I'm watching videos. I see OKX banners when I'm watching Premier League football. Not soccer, because I'm British, football. You see these stuff subconsciously, and you'll see equally Kaspa starting to make some ways into the sports sector as well, with these sort of partnerships as well, which is good to see. And I'll get to this post a little bit later on as well from Kaspa Report here. Ultimately, it's another deep dive. They do a lot of these deep dives, which is great to see. I love their content as well, where they're trying to pinpoint the probable owner of Kaspa's second largest wallet, which of course we speculate right now to be Binance is, currently holding 656 million Kaspa, which is insane. They'll be buying some more on Thursday, likely every Monday and Thursday, buying the most of the supply right now. They currently hold 2.50% of the supply of Kaspa right now. So I'll get to that in a little bit in a moment. Oh yeah, how's your broken foot doing now actually, Gosu? It's been a while, I haven't asked. Starting tomorrow with physiotherapy, a few more weeks that I could walk without stools. Love to hear, my man. Hopefully the physiotherapy all goes well and good and you heal up quickly. Capital to the moon, 100%, man. Couldn't see another future, really. That's literally worse than the 100% inflation we could experience during COVID. Oh yeah, like right now the economy is in absolute shambles. It's definitely worse than... It's worse than the financial crisis in 2008. It's worse than COVID. It's terrible. And yeah, it does seem like this is a money grab from Crow, to be honest. And that's part of the problem as well. It's sad to see. Sad to see. Because I mean, I use Crypto.com. I do like their exchange, but this might also cause some backlash from Crypto.com as well. I have a bad feeling again, like at the end of January, even the FOMC meeting. I hope I'm wrong, but last time not. And now it's even stronger. I have sold everything and I'm ready to do it again. I mean, I hope you're sixth. I low-key hope you haven't got sixth cent. Wow, I've got 6 cents. Yes, well, I couldn't say that. My list got in the way there. Sure, you had a laugh about that. Yeah, I hope I've got 6 cents about that because, yeah, I mean, right now I do see still potential for some more downside in the short term, but markets still, I think, are still due for a good, strong recovery going forward. Right now, capital, the only asset right now is currently green, only by 0.78, but everything right now is going through a quite heavy correction, which is kind of the markets are acting right now. But if you look at the other news right now, we can see, you know, obviously Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said digital assets are here to stay, and we're going to make the United States a digital hub of the world. You know, that's one outlook of what Trump wants to do here. Crypto SEC Task Force is going to be hosting the first of a series of I believe 5 roundtables discussing key areas and interest within regulation of crypto assets. First is going to be happening on the 21st on Friday between 1 and 5 p.m. So that's another big update coming through very, very soon. The new SEC chair nominee Paul Atkins apparently is close to being inaugurated, if you will, taking his rightful place. There's a planned Senate hearing on the 27th of March apparently, so equally end of the month is looking quite good for the macro side of things, the other fundamental news. The Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, in regard to him as well, said there's going to be no guarantees that there will not be a US recession. Now, this is a shout out to Cody again in my community when he made this post. This sounds like a lot of FUD, and it is, but it's not actually directed necessarily at us. He's talking more so to Jerome Powell there, saying, do your job. Do your job and stop us getting a recession right now. By doing that, you need to cut rates. You need to do something about it right now because the economy is not doing well. And again, that's what highlighted in Plan K's video, talking about how every single time there's been a situation, the Fed's bailed us out. They're going to have to do it again, but they're seemingly taking their sweet time with it, and they're going to have to do it. Otherwise, with the current situation of the inflation right now, the debt crisis, if they don't take the right action, it's going to be a collapse of all financial economies, not just America, a collapse of all of them, because right now everything's still denominated in dollar. And the debt's so high and they can't be able to refinance it. But this is also quite optimistic news again. Here we can see China apparently has announced to plan a vigorously boost consumption to bid to shore up the economy. So ultimately we're going to see a massive amount of liquidation pumped into the market from China. China leaders pledged an additional 300 billion yuan for consumers subsidized at a parliamentary meeting in January. So we'll likely see more money printing, and that'll cause a more booming economy. It's the same thing we see all the time now. That's how we deal with the markets. You'll see rate cuts go down. You see rate cuts, so they lower inflation. You see rate cuts, and you'll see QE, which will cause more capital flow into the markets, and we'll see as a result, therefore, hopefully reverse in the markets. Currently, there's a sentiment in the community right now that we'll see the Fed end quantitative tightening (QT) before May. This is Polymarket. It's a betting website, so it's not confirmation. It's just speculation. But right now, all people speculate it's going to be 100% chance that we do see QT end, and then it's the start of QE probably in early Q2. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of the stuff coming out right now, and we'll get into this post in just a moment as well. But I think right now, to hopefully you haven't got sixth sense and it doesn't come to fruition. But I do believe that downside in the short term does still look possible. Still a lot of uncertainty. We had to see some posts in my community earlier regarding the European Central Bank. Europe's currently doing a lot of things that I don't think will be received very well in the community. Which I'll see if I can preload them right now. Basically talk about CBDCs and stuff like that. And right now, the acceptance of CBDCs is still very, very low. They're going to come out regardless. Nothing we can do about it, but they're still very low because no one wants them. Also, this as well. Here's one other thing as well. So we've got this here. So, European Central Bank unleashes a creature called CBDCs in October. So October's coming through very soon. That is not good. And the EU Commission proposes mobilising 10 trillion euro in citizen savings for defence of Europe. So they're ultimately going to be utilising citizen savings for the defence in Europe, which is equally not good at all. Unused savings for defence purposes. It's savings for a reason. They're going to take people's money for savings. This is ultimately, again, is the problem with these centralised entities. It's why the system's broken. Now, I don't know if it's completely true or not, if it's going to actually come to fruition or not. But this is not reassuring at all. And again, just highlights the corruption of this space. They haven't got the money right now, so instead of just printing more out, because they can't really do that, they're going to just steal it from other people, which is like, well, they're saving for a reason. So this is also the problem with CBDCs as well. CBDCs, well, what they could do with CBDCs, with the tokens, the stablecoin CBDCs that you can't save. They can issue an expiry date on the stuff you're saving. So these reserves here they're saving right here, they can just try and take it all for defences. With CBDCs, they can do that even easier by issuing expiry dates on the assets they're holding, and therefore you have to use them before they expire, otherwise to be used. That's part of the problem with CBDCs, that's why I don't like them. They're going to come out regardless, but they have been stifled right now. Trump's also put a hold on them as well. That's also why, I'm here investing into crypto right now, because I want to try and get ahead before I'm trapped in a even worse, somewhat slavery system. That's how I view it. Again, that's my own personal belief, though, not financial advice. You've got to do your own research into investing, into the CBDC, stuff like that, because it's my research, what I've conducted, and I've showed information about that in my community a little bit. If you want to know more about that, Links are down below. I've showed a lot more in my paid community, or you can join for a free 7-day free trial in the what page. We showcase a lot of stuff in there, institutional research document, alpha information. We do private live streams every single week on a Saturday. We do trade alerts and whatnot as well on there. If you want to find out more about that, again, links are down below. You can join for free 7-day free trial, and yeah, learn a lot more, because this sort of CBDC stuff is a problem, and that could potentially be your 6 cents DD about maybe some more downside coming through very, very soon. That's not good, but I'm still hopeful that we'll see a reversal with all the other bullish catalysts coming through. Crypto Task Force, Paul Atkins seemingly close. China starting to print money very soon. And equally then Kaspa's got all this massive developments coming through with 10 BPS on the horizon, smart contracts on the horizon. Stablecoin's not far from now, even in May from what I've seen as well. And you know, their sponsorships and stuff going up higher and higher as well. So I think yeah, we're in a period of unknown, as always, unknown. I wonder if there were any big shorts or that were open on Crow before the vote. Seems very sketchy indeed. Maybe they made a GoFundMe allegedly. I mean, it is interesting to think, you know, I wouldn't be surprised about it if they did. I am also curious about that. But it is, you know, it's just wrong fundamentally. I don't know why they do that. Because the whole premise of a burn wallet is you're not allowed to touch it. Like, I know, for example, Kaspa had one of the things that people may or may not know about is that Kaspa had an issue very, very early on with the you know, the mining element, stuff like that. I'll see if I can find the post, because Shai made a post about it. And ultimately, the fix that was proposed was, you know, Kaspa had to mine it instead of the miners. So the vote was to put it into a burn wallet that's still there. Let me see if I can find the post so I can actually read from it, as opposed to me just trying to remember it off by heart. How long ago was it? Because he responded to someone who was trying to FUD Kaspa as per usual. Can I find this? It's going to be so hard for me to find this right now because I'm trying to remember exactly what it said. But yeah, it basically just, okay, that's too far back now. But this is part of the thing that Kaspa had the burn wallet, but therefore this wallet, as it's a burn wallet, the premise for burn wallet, it should not be touched. It should not be touched at all. Okay, is it around here? Sorry, just give me a quick moment, family. It's the Justin Bonds, not the Justin Bonds one. What was I typing? Smart contracts. I think it was in smart contracts. When I was typing that in, I think I saw it there. The page. So I'm just going through my community real quickly. I'm going to ask some questions real quick though, whilst I'm still trying to find it. You are a legend in Kaspa. I appreciate it very much, man. I try to do what I had to do. You know, researching every single day while I can. It's been a mission to say the least. But I'm you know, I'm here trying to spread the information and love. You know, again, if you all enjoy these streams, be doing every single day. Leave a like, share everything, subscribe for more. You know the deal. What's up, Kaspa for news? Are you doing very well today? Hope you're doing very, very well. Why is price up tonight? I think it's just Kaspa's current market. There's nothing really. I think the only thing that could potentially be a reason why is that we saw some early signs of you know, smart contracts working with Kaspa. That might be a reason why, but there's nothing. I don't think there's like confirmation per se as to why Kaspa's doing what it's doing right now. But hey, we'll have to wait and see. Again, if Kaspa's doing okay today, which is good to see. And hopefully, I mean, this also potentially plays into the argument that Kaspa might go through its own you know, price rally, its own, you know, bull run before everything else takes off. Just DCA and hold on for dear life. Hey, couldn't say anything wise of myself, man. That's pretty much what we do right now. Ultimately, when the markets are so far down and everything's kind of looking, you know, bearish, stuff like that, all you do at this point now is just research more and more, understand about the space, and then just DCA. If you choose it, you want to invest at least. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just DCAing, investing and learning much more as I can. I cannot find this post. I know it was a post from Shai, and it was talking. Was it around Justin Bonds? He was replying to somebody else about FUD for Kaspa, and it was talking about. Did I pin it? Please tell me I pinned it. So it's doing my head in that I have not found this, and my OCD is not letting me let it die now. All the Kaspa influencers just disappeared. Only you left. Shame on them. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, I know everyone right now. I mean, again, I understand right now it's not, popular per se to talk about Kaspa because, there's no adoption about it. There's nothing going on with Kaspa right now, so they all just leave because, again, it's a dog-eat-dog world. And equally, I've tried what I can do. I'm trying to expand a little bit by bit. I'm researching other projects right now to make a video on them as well. But yeah, fundamentally speaking, I do try and, stick through with Kaspa because it's my biggest holding for one, but also because I have biggest conviction in it. I know what they're building more than anything else. And I believe what they're going to do is going to be very, very significant. So yeah, I appreciate very much, man. And I'm sure they'll all come back. But hopefully you'll be here, and my conviction and belief in Kaspa will help have a lifetime fan. There are some left, but I have to say the best info is from QC here. I appreciate it very much. I do really. I mean, yeah. Again, I do what I do. Some days I speak very, very well, like Shakespeare. Some days, like today, I struggle a bit. I'm struggling very much with trying to speak. I don't know why. Today to be one of those days. But I do at least try to provide the information while I can. So in that regard, then I'm going to try and get into this post here. I'm still trying to find this post from Shy. Just trying to reply to the whole burn thing. I don't know why I can't find it. It's doing my absolute head in. Do I have to type in Deshi instead? No. Why? Oh, I'm going to find it after the stream. I'm going to be really upset as well. But yeah, we've got this post here from Kaspa Report here. Ultimately talking about, probable owner of Kaspa's second largest wallet here, which of course we speculate to be Binance's, but we're going to hear a little bit more about it right now. Yeah, so right now it still says likely going to be Binance's, so that's the biggest speculation right now is Binance's wallet. First, we analyze deposit times, consistently weekdays, deposits at the same daily time, indicating a business entity, not an individual, likely controls the wallet. We speak about all the time, this wallet every Monday and Thursday between 12 p.m. midday to 2 p.m. evening. Every single transaction happens around the same time. At least this is British Standard Time, of course. It'd be different for you wherever you're based. But it's continuous, so it does seem more likely to be a business transaction. Also have the post here about, they examine the withdrawal capacity. A private individual would likely face challenges withdrawing such large sums of money from multiple exchanges due to withdrawal restrictions. But they have no problem at all. So evidently they haven't got any problem with KYC and whatnot. Which therefore means, again, they're likely a very, very big exchange. Or someone who's got the trust, therefore probably an exchange anyways, depending potentially Binance's. So we examine the source of the funds, primarily come from Gate, which is SEC regulations place restrictions on US companies, so they can't. So yeah, SEC restrictions place regulations on US companies, ability to transact with Gate, so it's unlikely going to be a US based company because they must use Gate, so therefore it's likely to be one outside the US, therefore potentially Binance as well. Fourth, we ruled out the wallet being a mining wallet, didn't receive Kaspa from the Coinbase. And its accumulation rate makes them unlikely to be a miner. Plus the transactions, so timing suggests business activity rather than mine operations. Fifth, we ruled out the wallet being a segregated wallet of the known exchange. Six, it goes into a lot more detail here, of course. It's a lot more. It's a whole extensive thread. So again, I'll link this in my community in the information channels, which again you can join for free. Links down below in the description chat. Also my homepage is here as well. I mean, yeah, it confirms for me what we've already been speculating, which is Binance's wallet, but just gives a lot more in-depth insight into the fact that, yeah, it's just the size of transactions, the time of transactions, where the transactions are coming from, the regulations in play and whatnot. It just makes sense for it to be a big exchange, likely Binance as well. 100% QC did Kaspa go, hey, I try, my man. I'm not perfect, but I do what I can do. Is this a post I was thinking about? I feel like it's not. No, it's not. This is something else. Oh, it's another Shy post. There's so much Shy beef, man. It's so hard to find it. Is it this one? It can't have been that long ago. I feel like I remember it quite recently. This is not that either. If I type in burn, will it come up? Will it come up? I'm sorry, I'm still searching for this, and it's really upsetting me. I can't find it. Out there somewhere in sunny California, there is some dude driving his car with your beautiful voice bellowing through his speaker. That dude is me. Hey, big up to Buffalo too. Hopefully, it's got all the heads turning. But yeah, I appreciate very much, man. I'm glad that everyone enjoys the content. I still do as I can do. I'm still early doors, still trying to learn a lot more, but I'm sure this will continue to improve as time goes on more and more as well. Is this it? Please tell me this is it. I need to find this post now. I just do my OCD hit. Yes, here it is. Oh, I'm the best. This is the benefit of having a free community where you post information. You can just type in keywords like burn and it will come up. So again, if you want to find out more, a place where you can just have information storage, an archive of information, check out the free community. And if you want to learn even more with institutional documents, a lot more in-depth insight, then you've got the paid community. You can join for free 7-day free trial. Again, links down below in the description. Also on your homepage, we provide a lot of information in there, even more so than we do in the daily streams. And I promise the information there is not as scattered about as these streams can sometimes be like today. But anyways, going to this post here. Yeah, so 2 weeks after the launch of Kaspa, we asked miners to stop mining due to a critical bug. We then had to mine alone to restart the chain and test the fix. All money mined during this time, around 11 million Kaspa, was mined to a wallet held by Shy. After the network resumed normal operations, we did a community poll. So he didn't do it himself, he asked the community what should we do, where the plurality decided that the money should be burnt. So it was sent to a burn address where it's stuck to this day. So yeah, so ultimately, from my understanding, you don't burn a token per se, you just send it to an address that's kind of labeled as a burn address. So you just don't touch it. Don't touch it. So what's happened here with Kronos is they put it to a burn wallet and they're like, oh, we're going to take it out of the burn wallet. Like, what? That doesn't make sense. No, you shouldn't do that. Don't do that. So yeah, that's Kaspa's done a similar thing. Well, not a similar thing, but they have got a burn wallet themselves as well, but it's not touched. And this address can still be checked to this day. You can see here, this is the burn wallet. Nothing's been moved. Since 2021, nothing's been moved. Still 11,221,375 Kaspa. It's a burn wallet for Kaspa. That's what a burn wallet's meant to be. God, that took me way too long to find that. I apologise if that was as frustrating for you as it was for me. What was that, Mr. Marper, man? I was going to say, it's been very quiet from you. Glad to have you back again. Good to have you back indeed. You haven't been bullying me, though. So that's what it is. It felt quiet. You don't be bullying me. I need you to bully me more. Actually, I don't. Take that back. I've been a busy couple of days, but I'm here to check if my support for my captor. Sure. Yeah, sure. Jalen Go, you know it. What's your thoughts on... You know what? Yeah, I played the video and I heard it. And now I'm reading it again. My dyslexia blames when I say Nova Scotia again. I know it's not pronounced that way anymore. But I can't remember how it's pronounced. You've come back for 1 minute and you've already annoyed me. Oh, my community really is the best, Tyler. They love to bully me. It makes me feel so happy. No, the co-inflation, lol. The co-inflation, if you're a holder 40% or worse, if you're a holder, it's 40% worse than 100% inflation we felt during COVID. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I don't hold Kronos. I don't like Kronos at all. I like Crypto.com as an exchange, although this just made me lose a little bit of faith in them. But I do like Kronos. I don't really use Crypto.com that much, though. I normally just use it for like transactions to and out of my actual bank account. But that's me at least. Yeah, Jay, we're all taking this vacation there soon. I thought you mentioned something about loving the thing culture. Now you guys are taking them absolute mick. They are the 51st state. Yeah, Canada. Big up Canada. And I'm joking there. Yeah, whatever. It's nice being on the West Coast. I catch all the lives now. Hey, I love to hear Alpaca J. I mean, yeah, the streams typically go live on the same time. They do, fluctuate here and there. Normally they're a bit more structured as well. Today I was making, again, my video. It's a smart contract video coming up for Kaspa in the next 2 hours or so. I'm going to make that. And then, stream came along. It's been a very busy day for me. I've been literally up since like 8 a.m. consistently just researching, making content, working my numerous jobs, watching the videos. You know it. You can burn your Kaspa by sending it to me. Yeah, that's not true. Don't drop Mr. Miles. EU is war, fear, mongering to get more taxes. They are using the Trump pullback of defence as an excuse. At least that's what it looks like from here. I mean, yeah, I don't know what the EU is properly playing at. It doesn't sound very reassuring, to say the least. It's kind of going to play more to uncertainty and this fear right now. But again, I think future outlook for the market still looks very, very good. Especially if the Fed starts, ending QT, starting QE, rate cuts and whatnot. We've got an FOMC meeting happening tomorrow. I expect it to be a nothing burger personally, but maybe they give some form of outlook or leak about where they're going to go through very soon, like when they're going to plan to rate cut rates. So, you know, things are looking up still in my belief. Today, markets again not doing very well, but the benefit of Kaspa looking better than ever. We're not far off. We've got a lot of big things coming through very, very soon. Testnet's coming out for smart contract in the next couple of weeks. TPP's coming out in the next month or two, well, month and a half. Smart contracts coming out fully in and around the same time. Stablecoins coming out in May as well. A lot of things coming through very, very soon. And this Kaspa starts to make a significant dent in this space. So essentially, they needed to do a pre-month to stabilize the network. They needed a vote to burn it after the network in mind. Another few million Kaspa. I mean, yeah, effectively, Kaspa needed to do a pre-mine to stabilize it. Well, they had to do a mine. They opened the network, and you know there was issues. 2 weeks after launch, there were issues and a critical bug. So they said, miner, can you stop mining? They mined to restart the chain, and then with the money that they did pre-mine, technically speaking, to stabilize the network, they just burnt it. The community said, let's just burn it and remove it. So you know, it removes the whole potential of pre-allocation and whatnot. Check the Discord content channel. I might have found what you wanted. Yeah, it was that. It was that post. Yeah, it definitely was. So, thank you very much, Kaspa, Mr. Miles, my man, or Sir Miles, for getting that to me so quickly. Although I spent all my time looking myself to find it, but yeah, that is the post I was referring to. Nova Scotia? Yeah, I'm going to listen to it again, and I'll make sure to integrate it in my brain so I don't get bullied for that ever again. EU need the mess right now, and I think the last 15 years they need a large deregulation. Yeah, I do agree as well. It seems to be a bit of shambles right now. Ultimately, the whole economy worldwide is in shambles right now. I think there's still some more pain in the short term, but long-term things I still think look optimistic. So, and Kaspa equally looks very, very good as well. Scotia. Okay, Scotia. Thank you very much, Buffalo. Thank you very much. Okay, well, that being said, bullying aside, content aside, hopefully you all have had a very, very good day. That could be it for today's daily live stream, Kaspa FOMO. If you enjoyed, as always, leave a like, share, subscribe for more. If you want to bully me more, come to your chat and learn more in the free community. Links in the description on your homepage here and also in the chat. If you want to be even more locked in, Max on the Benefit of Crypto, where you're earning a lot more in there, from trade alerts to alpha information, I have a lot more. Check out the what page here, 7-day free trial, links down below again. And yeah, don't be emotional, be logical, and I'll see you all tomorrow.